All right, welcome to UK Casuals Football Podcast, talk from the terraces. As you'll be able to see, Dave Cass and Gary Harris are injured in the treatment room. But we have with us Martin King. How are you today, Martin?
Yeah, not bad. As I said to you off air, I've had a couple of bad weeks, but I feel a bit better now. I got my first hospital appointment this week, so hopefully things will start moving then. But I feel all right today, not too bad. I'm still out every day with the dogs down the beach, so I don't feel too bad. Cheers.
Yeah. And the podcast gives you a bit of an uplift.
Definitely.
So because Dave Cass and Mr. Harris are away, what we will do is go straight to Martin's moan of the week.
Right.
So over to you, mate.
Well, my moan ain't a moan. Well, it is a moan, yeah. But I mean, I'm talking about Mo Salah, the Liverpool player. What a player! We let him go, and we got him he was playing for Bow against Chelsea in the Champions League a few years ago, and he scored a wonder goal. Picked the ball up in his own half and ran and scored a brilliant goal. On the strength of that, Abramovich signed him for the club. Anyway, he was in and out of the team, didn't really get a good run, like Kevin De Bruyne, like Lukaku. We let the three of them go. Yeah. I think all three of them, Mourinho was the manager. So we sent him out on loan to Fiorentina, and then he then went to Roma on loan. There was a bit of altercation in Italy about couldn't he go from one club to another on loan in the same season. Anyway, cut a long story short, Roma signed him off of us for we paid, I think it was 11 million for him. It was unheard of, which was a lot of money for an unheard Egyptian player. No one knew. Yeah. It was called, when we signed him, the Egyptian Messi. And you saw flashes of his brilliance. He was a young boy when he came to us, so he needed time to settle into English football. As I say, we sent him out on loan to Fiorentina, then Roma. Roma signed him, I think it was for about 18 million. He didn't really pull up any trees in Rome for Roma. And then, to my surprise, Liverpool Klopp paid 37 million for him. And the man has been unbelievable. I watched him against Watford the other week when he scored that. Again, another wonder goal. Sent three players going the wrong way, got the ball into the side, inside the post on the side netting. Brilliant goal. Everyone was raving about it. He then goes to Madrid, plays against Atletico, really turns them over. It was another wonder show. Yeah. And I've just watched him against Man United where he's got a hat-trick, and he is absolutely brilliant. He's got to be the best player on earth at the minute. He is absolutely sensational. He's living up to the name of the...
So when Klopp paid 37 million, what was the general thinking of that? Like, what's he doing?
That's what I thought. I think a lot of people thought, why are you paying 37 million for a player who ain't pulled up many trees out in Italy? Yeah, he sees something in it. Klopp's a clever manager. He sees things in players. Yeah. Like Marnie, he got from Southampton. And other players he signed. He signed a centre-up from Southampton. He likes signing Van Dijk. Brilliant player. Had a serious injury, come back, great player. So, and the goalkeeper. Apparently Chelsea were after Alisson Becker. Sounds like a bird, doesn't it, Alisson? Anyway, so we were after him. We went for Liverpool. He just builds this team, as well as throwing a few local youngsters in. And to me, my thoughts on Scousers, not Everton fans, so don't start moaning about, you don't like us.
Just Liverpool. Off. Yeah.
Yeah, Liverpool, all that bollocks they sing to us, we ain't got no history. As I say, one title in 30 years. Yeah, you're doing well, boys. And we're shit clubbers still. But to me, my moan is, who the fuck decided to sell this man? Because it is absolutely, he was meant to be the best manager in the world, Mourinho. Yet he's dropped a bollock on three players there.
Yeah, the special ones and all that. Yeah,
special one. Yeah. He's special for 1 or 2 seasons. Then the players don't buy into what he's trying to do. He came back for a second time at Chelsea, and he had probably 1.5 good seasons, and then it went stale again, and then he got rid of him. So anyway, cut a long story short, my moment of the week is, what the fuck was Mourinho and the club doing letting such a player go? So that's all I want to say this week. I've got a second moan, which you know I'm going to bring up.
Yeah.
If you want to touch on that.
Well, just before that, I've got an issue that England's next match or a match in the future will have to be played behind closed doors because of what happened in the final of the Euros, when all the England fans went a little bit mental. Well, not all of them. No, that's not right. A section of England fans tried to get in for free. Now, I just think putting out a blanket punishment is not fair.
No.
On the lads,
I've seen the video.
Go and watch England. I don't think that's right, Martin.
No, nor do I. I've watched it, and the people who burst through got past the stewards. First of all,
let's get through.
how was I allowed to even get that far?
Yeah.
Get up the stairs, past the police, past the stewards, then force their way through the stewards who the floodgates open and they burst through. Maybe over 100 got in, but a lot of them got a good fucking kicking off of people who'd paid to get in. They were laying on the floor crying, the ones who'd burst through. So what was the attendance that night? 80,000, 90,000?
Something
so
like
100
that,
fans break in. You can't punish all the England fans for 100 arseholes trying to get in for nothing. So, no, I totally agree with you. It's a too strong a punishment to fit the crime.
Like you said, Martin, that it wasn't one gate or one door to get through. There were several sections before they got as far as they did. So what was going on with the security that night? I mean, I don't.
Well, surely if they're all bursting through, the first ones who were coming through a turnstile to get in, right? Surely the security would have been on the radios and saying, "Look, they're coming in gate E or gate H or gate Z. Get yourself over there. Let's stop them." But it never happened. They come in, and then they started getting the shit kicked out of them. Quite a few of them by other supporters who were just. Well, a lot of people again said that they were security who were doing it, or plainclothes old Bill. Don't know. But anyway, the punishment doesn't fit the crime. That's what I think. So
I just think to actually put England behind closed doors and say no fans can go is outrageous.
Bit strong. Strong.
Okay. You've got not another moan of the week, but an issue, as we'll be talking about it more in the second part of the interview that I interviewed you 7 months ago. So we're doing a part 2, as many of the other ex-football casuals or former football casuals are going to do. You've had Carlton Leach's new book sent to you, and you threw it a little bit. Yeah. So what do you want to talk about that then, Martin?
Yeah, I was disappointed really in not Carlton doing another book, because I like the first one. I've not been a big fan of the films because some of the things said in it, I think the Turkish family who he is in the first film, threatening with guns and all that bollocks, you wouldn't do it to them. You wouldn't do it to them.
No.
You know, that these people are serious Turkish family, so you would not do what he said he'd done in that film. So that's up to him, what he puts in there. But when I got the book, I was rather disappointed because, look, I've only had it turned up Thursday, and I've had it on my desk. I've got an office here with books, and that's how the cover's gone. Look, that's the cover. Can you see that?
It's folded.
And it's folded in half. Look, it's curling up. If you can see that, look, that's not me holding it open. That's it.
Clearly,
it's a really cheaply made book. I'm not knocking Carlton. Whoever's advised him to bring this out, like, I'll hold it up there and you can see it better there. But who's ever advised him to go down this route? I mean, he's got a Rolls Royce store and he stuck it in a Cortina. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, the page on the the copyright page. There ain't a copyright page. It's just stuck down there. The photographs are the cheapest way, and you need a magnifying glass to read it. The print is so fucking small.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to read it. You know, I'll get bored reading it. Though I'm 3 chapters in. He says it's never been said before, but I've read and he said quite a few things which I've read already. But the photographs are like black and white printed on that. It's been I think Carlton, if he was really honest, will be really disappointed who's advised him to go down this route with this book, because it's obviously a good story. I'm getting into it. I'm enjoying it. Not knocking Carlton, but he's been ill-advised by someone to go down the route to bring a book out like that. It was 14 quid plus 3 quid, I think, post and package from Amazon. And then when I looked at the back, it is, I know people self-publish, but it is printed in Great Britain on the back by Amazon. Right. So Amazon do a print and supply situation where I'm sure, I mean, people self-publish because big publishing houses are ripping them off. You don't get a lot of money. There's bulk sales, there's returns. They will do anything to turn you over. But he should have, don't go to Amazon to do a book like that, because he's far more worth something better. Because who's ever advised him to go down that road? Carlton, don't listen to him, mate. You're being turned over.
Your issue, Martin, is that you're not having a go at Carlton.
Not at all. I've met him a couple of times.
Carlton deserves better than.
Well, I think he's letting other
that book.
No, the book. Honestly, the packaging of the book and the product is, the story's good. Don't get me wrong. I've enjoyed it so far, and I think it will get better. You're sort of regurgitating a lot and answering people you shouldn't even bother to answer, who are fucking arseholes, who know nothing about the story, yet they living on Carlton's story, right? That's wrong. I know what he's trying to do, I know what he's trying to say, but my only thing is, he's listened to people and gone down the right, that deserves, the story is 10 out of 10, the produce is shit. The cover, the paper, no, just absolute rubbish. In respect, he would have a massive big seller on that book. But when people get it, like myself, I was disappointed with it. I opened it and I put it on the side and I looked at it the next morning and the fucking cover's nearly gone round to the back cover, which I'm not exaggerating. It really is bad. And the print is so tiny.
He deserves better, Martin.
He deserves better. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
He's got a good story. A fantastic story, but some of it is already, it's not the final say, he's already said it once, but new stuff in it, which I flipped through as well. You know, it looks a good book, but the way it's been produced lets it down. And I think if Carlton's, he's obviously a perfectionist, and whoever he's listened to on this, you've listened to the wrong people.
Let him down.
I've published probably over 150 books now in the last 20 years. And I always pride myself on using good paper, a good typesetter, and a good printer. You can't do no wrong. And I've had books sent to me before from other football fans. They send me a book. What do you think of that? Can you give it a review? And within a week, it's fallen apart because it's not been put together, glued or stitched properly. But that is just bad. Try and do it on well, there you go. But hopefully he does well out of it. He's a nice fella. He supports a different team to me. That ain't got nothing to do with it.
Of course.
But I think whoever's advised him to go down that route, mate, Carlton, listen, you've listened to the wrong people, mate. You're a clever man. And then that's my only gripe about the book. This is a shit produce. Fantastic story, good story, but the wrong thing. But that's all I'm going to say about it. I've got more to say about it.
Well, I've noticed some tweets that you've put over, obviously on Twitter, because tweets belong to Twitter, about Bill Gardner and his traveller routes. So again, over to you, Martin. Let's hear your opinion.
Well, again, I'll speak more about it. Bill's obviously a legend over West Ham.
Yeah.
Again, I've met Bill a couple of times. He seems a nice enough fella. He said some things about me which were never true, and I won't go into them, but were absolutely not true. He was a doorman at a nightclub, me and my cousins and my travelling friends. Two of them are probably the best well-known bare knuckle fighters in this country, brothers, two brothers.
Right.
We used to go to Bill's club. It was called Busby's then, and the Millionaires Club in Red Hill. It was one of the doormen. I knew who he was. He didn't know me. He didn't know the two bare knuckle fighters. We was all travelling boys who went there. Maybe some weeks 4, 5 or 6, other weeks 20. He didn't know them, so if he was a traveller, he would have known them. I've never heard him, what we call rocker, speak the language, never. I watched him on James' English interview, and he says he fought when he was 14 years old. He was fighting grown men, travellers in pits. Pits? Where's there a fucking pit in London? Absolute nonsense. Not calling him a liar, but he went down a pit on a ladder and fought this. He had 4 fights. Made loads of money, lived in a churchyard in Aldgate. So there you go. Which I bought a car but didn't work. So how did he get it back to fucking Aldgate with the A.A.? Excuse me. Lots of holes in the story. Not calling him a liar. He's a legend at football. He's well known at West Ham. He's well known all over the country. But I know him from being a head doorman at Busby's and same club, Millionaires.
Yeah.
Never knew us lot. I knew who he was, never engaged with him. He had a ginger hair and a moustache in them days. But that's not here or there. But no, he talks very well. He should go on a circuit talking because he's got more about him than most of the others who do this circuit, like that idiot we got, Mariner.
Yeah.
And he should do. He's very articulate. He's very good with his answers. He's quite funny. But don't say you're a traveller. Then I put up on Twitter what you're saying about how's he a traveller? What makes him a traveller? I don't cast myself as a traveller, but I'm from a traveller background. I've never lived in a trailer or a Varda. Never. So, but my mum did. She come from Ireland, one of 13. My grandfather, professional boxer, British champion, had his own scrapyard. And so they were travellers. They taught us kids, all the family, to speak the language, what we call rocker.
Yeah.
Anyway, we all speak the language. My kids speak the language. But I've never heard him talk. I've never heard him engage with any travellers I ever went with to his club. So anyway, and I put up on Twitter, I said, you're either a fucking traveller or you ain't. But you can't just, you can't turn around and say, Martin, I've decided I'm going to be a gypsy. No, you fucking can't. It ain't in your blood. No. It fucking ain't. So I put that on Twitter. I said, how the fuck is he a gypsy? Loads of people come on and said, he's talking bollocks. He's a fucking idiot. No, he's not an idiot. Don't go that strong. He's not an idiot. But is he stretching the truth? Anyway, one of his best mates come on and said to me, Martin, he only found out he was a traveller. Listen to this one. When his mum died and they had the wake back at her house and they had a clock on the mantelpiece and these people nicked it. And someone said, they're your mum's family. They're travellers. They could have been fucking drunkards. They could have been burglars. They could have been skagheads.
Yeah.
Why are they travellers? Because someone's nicked the fucking clock off the side.
Just because the clock went missing. I did speak to you a little bit off air about this, and maybe he's put it in his book about the traveller thing because of Tyson Fury, the boxer.
100%. That's my fault.
That has brought the travelling and the gypsy thing to the forefront now because he's king of the gypsies, and the thing with Tyson is I've watched a lot of stuff about his background on YouTube, and his family are real. Half of them still live.
100%. They're a proper travelling family. Travelling family.
Yeah.
Every traveller in the country. I mean, he's got Huey Burton and who's the other geezer? Barclay Gorman. Travelling people, legends in the boxing, bare knuckle fighting world. Legends. Same as my two mates, two brothers. I won't mention their names because I get embarrassed, but absolute legends in the bare knuckle fighting gypsy way. They've actually lived the life living in a trailer. They've been around the country finding it hard, getting fucking abused and having to fight their way to the top. So you don't just become a gypsy overnight because, I fancy being a gypsy. It ain't like that. And because someone nicks your mother's fucking clock, does that make you a traveller?
No.
I just think that
because Tyson Fury has brought the gypsy way of life to the forefront, a lot of people are jumping on it. and they
Of course they
will
are.
do.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
happens. We haven't got Gary Harris or Dave Cass here to read the results. But what I want to find, is there any results that stand out to you?
Yeah, one, which I watched and really enjoyed. I saw Watford get beat by Liverpool last week, 5-0. And I watched them win at Everton yesterday, 5-2.
Oh, that's
And
great.
Ranieri,
Yeah. I mean, to
Ranieri has
lose by
got
5 and then come back and smash Everton 5-2. That's a really good result. And Everton aren't any, Everton aren't no mugs today. Let's get it right.
No. Under Benitez, they've been good.
Yeah.
You know, he's brought in some players on free transfers or cheap money, but they were shit. They should have wrapped the game up with about 10 minutes ago. Watford scored 3 goals.
Within 10 minutes.
Yeah, something like that. Josh King, he was at Everton, never really got a look in. He was at Bournemouth. I think he was at Leicester as well, Josh King, originally. Anyway, so he's a fucking good player. You know, for minimal money. There's good players out there. You've got to look for them. And Josh King is one of them. He's quick. He's fucking very calm in front of goal. I think he'll be brilliant for Watford. Gary would be over the fucking moon with that.
Oh, of course he will.
Come on.
Yeah. He's probably
been on the Pomane all week. He took his mum to bingo. Him and his mum have gone to bingo and had a drop of Pomane tonight, you know?
Yeah. It's like
brilliant result.
To lose by a scoreline of 5 goals in it, and then this week win by 5 goals. It's terrific for the fans as well, isn't it?
And the other result, which I watched with a bit of interest, was Southampton v Burnley. Not because it was a 2-2 draw, but Chelsea loaned Bojan, big, strong centre forward. I think he's Albanian. Wow. They call him the new Diego Costa. He's fucking absolutely brilliant. We let him go. We loaned him to Southampton, and we sold him Livramento. Sounds like an Italian or Spanish. Big, strong left back, right back, left back. And £5 million we sold him for. But we put this is how fucking stupid some people at Chelsea are. And he's got a buyback clause of 25 million. How does that work? Why do you sell a player with all the potential in the world for 5 million and then put in a buyback clause? Oh, we can buy him back for 25 million.
We'll lose 20 million on him.
It's bollocks, isn't it? It's absolute. That's the way our club runs sometimes. Absolute shite. We give it a little cargo.
Yeah, it's people that obviously it's about money and they don't know what they're doing.
But as I spoke earlier,
the shows that you missed, Martin. It was Gary Harris that brought it up. And it was about this safe standing that's being brought in. And Gary Harris said that there's too much been made of it, and everybody's getting overexcited. It's not going to bring the terraces back. It's just a seat with a bar in front of it, is how he explained it. What's your thoughts on that, Martin?
Exactly what Gary said.
Yeah.
Exactly what Gary said. You don't need standing to create an atmosphere. But I mean, a lot of grounds, fans stand anyway. But at Chelsea, I ain't been over a year now. No, probably 2 years I ain't been to Chelsea. And the only thing is I wouldn't go because I would, without taking a knee, I'd get up and I'd get banned for life or I'd shout out. But there you go. But the stand, I mean, there's no atmosphere at Chelsea. But the last 10 years, if anybody stands up, they come round, take your seat number. If you've got a season ticket, they just take it away from you. You paid £1,000, 3 games in, 2 games in, whatever. You're gone. You've lost your money. You ain't getting your money back. So Chelsea has been sterilised. A lot of clubs like Man United, Liverpool, Newcastle, they let you stand. But Chelsea, it's Hammersmith from Fulham and Hammersmith Council, or Chelsea and Hammersmith, whatever it is. They tell us what anybody continually stands. So they've sterilised. There's no atmosphere there at Chelsea. No, it's like going to the Valley or the theatre. Yeah. And there's a lot of clubs like that. You go to other clubs and the fucking place is rocking and rolling. So we're cutting our own throats at Chelsea because you don't want the working class. We've had this discussion before.
We have,
but you don't want the working classes.
No,
you want the people who's going to go in.
They want to. They want a different clientele these days, don't they, Martin?
who's going to spend money in the club shop and buy a sausage roll for a tenner? Or a fucking lager, Nat's Piss lager for about £8, and a fucking sausage roll for a tenner. They don't want the likes of us working class people in Chelsea. No. It's finished. I don't give a fuck. I don't ever want to go back in there again. All the time they're taking this stupid fucking knee. I don't want to go in there because I've told you before, my mate's offered me his season tickets. I said, listen, Charlie, if I have your season ticket, you won't be going in no more because I'll be shouting out, get up, you
banned.
Because
I'll be banned.
Yeah, I'll be banned. I'll be chucked out.
Would
so
you
why would I fucking go in and watch them cunts do that? I'd rather sit and watch it on the telly. But there you go, that's me.
Would you agree that because you've said it's become sanitised, and Sandy Chung, of Rangers, said exactly the same, by the way. It is, the whole thing's becoming sanitised. Would you agree that because a lot of this, and I'll class it as modern football with VAR and all the rest of it, would you agree that a lot of the older lads and even some of the younger generation are turning to non-league?
Or lower leagues as well. You know,
or lower because they're untouched by the glitz and the glamour of the Premier League, aren't they? You know, let's have it right.
Well, I mean, my Jane, her uncle owned Gillingham Football Club for 25 years. So when we lived there, we'd go to a couple of games a year at Gillingham. But she really has always been for the lower leagues. Yeah. She thinks it's brilliant, though. And she took me along, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's like, fucking get stuck in. You can hear the players swearing at one another. Yeah. The crowd love it. The crowd stand up. No one's going to take their season ticket away because they are valid customers in the lower leagues. Exactly. You go the Championship and up into the Premiership, and then it's a different ball game.
It's all about TV rights, isn't it? And Sky TV.
Exactly. And selling shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, no, I totally agree with you. I mean, I watch any football on the telly. Yeah. You know, Spanish, Italian, non-league. How did your team get on in the week?
We had a fantastic FA Cup tie against Yeovil.
Yeah.
And to Gary Harris, it was at Weymouth. Wasn't it, Yeovil, Gary? If you're watching this, it wasn't at Yeovil. Was it? It was at Weymouth. Yeovil scored early on and was 1-0 up for most of the game, and then Weymouth drew within the last few minutes. Took it to extra time and then penalties. And then Yeovil won because our penalties were dismal. So Weymouth won out the FA Cup, but the stadium was as full as I've ever seen it. So it would generate a lot of money for Weymouth, a lot of money.
Any trouble? Any punch-ups?
Yes, because it's a local derby. People think that it's Dorchester. It's not. It's Yeovil. We've always hated Yeovil. They've always hated us. But as in with the modern game, even down at that level, there was Old Bill everywhere.
Really?
Yeah, literally. Yeah, and it doesn't help that the Old Bill station is right next to Weymouth Football Club anyway.
So they knew expecting trouble, the Old Bill.
They ain't got a fighter club, but they did expect trouble. There was a little bit, but there was Old Bill and extra security hired and extra vans. And it was a real good atmosphere, a real good game.
Oh, brilliant.
It was awful. The weather was awful, raining, everything. But then we played Wildstone yesterday, but I don't know the score. But Weymouth at the FA Cup. But what I will say for an FA Cup tie, brilliant. Even though we lost, thoroughly enjoyed it. Even though I was soaked to the bone, you know, by the rain and the wind and all that. But now, excellent. Can't fault. You know, when we scored in the last minute to equalise it, the place erupted. Fantastic.
No, lovely.
Yeah. You know,
but that's something to store in your memory, that, isn't it?
It is. Yeah, and like I said, I've never seen the stadium. They said it was 2,911, which was the attendance. There was more than that. I don't know what's going on, but the place was packed. And
called fiddling the books. That's what it's called.
Yeah, more
Fiddling
than
the
likely
books.
it goes to that level. But I mean, like I said, they had to hire extra caterers because there's only a little shop there, a little cafe that does it normally. So I had to get, and because we were fenced off from the Yeovil fans, they had to have their own caterers,
Really?
hot dogs and all the rest of it. But no, it's fantastic, mate. Really good atmosphere.
Oh, that's good.
There was both
lovely.
fans singing and chanting. Real good FA Cup tie. Really, I was going to do a live, but I just got too involved. To get stuff. I was just too involved with shouting and singing and stuff. Thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
Mate.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I really did.
Good.
So before we finish up, Martin, is there anything you want to finish up with, mate?
Not that I can think of. No, not off the top of my head.
Okay, mate. So next week, hopefully Dave Cass and Gary Harris are off the injury list, or Gary's not taking his mum to bingo next week. So we'll be back next week. So there'll be more interviews and more videos coming from UK Casual soon.
Cheers, Matty. Lovely. Tell